Hey guys, and welcome back to another one. Now today I'm not going to share with you a review as we usually do here on the channel, in this particular case about the iPhone SE, especially because there are plenty of reviews on the web already, and great reviews by the way. Now those reviews, at least the ones that I've seen, only show one side of the spectrum, which is users from the iPhone 6, iPhone 6s or 6s Plus, or similar phones on the Android side. Sorry, not similar, but bigger screen phones on the Android side of things. And one of the things that they mention, and that's the reason why I'm doing this video, is people with bigger screens telling that they understand why some people do need smaller screens, or want, I don't need, but I want a smaller form factor phone. Now I'm on the other side of the spectrum, and as I was saying, that's why I want to share this video with you, which is I do want a smaller phone, but I do understand why people need or want a bigger screen phone. So guys, if this is a subject that you think that will be interesting, just stay here with us and hopefully you will enjoy the video. And that being said, let's go straight for it. Okay guys, and here we are back for the video itself. Now, as I was mentioning, the topic of the video is why did I bought one, size matters and so on and so forth. So starting the video, and so that the video has a beginning and end, as I said, I'm not going to do a review, but I want to show you just a few images about the unboxing, and I just want to reinforce here, as I've seen on other reviews, that there's nothing new on this phone and on this unboxing, of course. So all we will find is the phone and the usual accessories and so on and so forth. And regarding the reviews, also just to reinforce that there are great reviews out there. So if you want to know everything about the specifications of the iPhone SE, just browse around on YouTube and you will find a lot of info. Now I can start the video with this brief intro, and one of the things that I would like to share with you guys, especially for those that don't know the channel, is where do I come from. And I'm using a iPhone 4S, which I have to reinforce here that has served me really well over the last 4 years or so, something like that. And one of the things that I would like to share as well, before I forget, is I'm still running iOS 7 on my iPhone 4S, especially because I saw some of my friends with the same phone when iOS 8 came out, sorry, iOS 8 and then 9 to get their phones crippled. So I'm still using iOS 7, and that's one of the reasons that I felt the need to upgrade. Now I could have upgraded before with the iPhone 5 or with the iPhone 6, but I was waiting, and actually last year, 2015, September, October, when I heard the first rumor that there were going to be a new phone with the 4-inch form factor, I did wait, because I was about to purchase a iPhone 5s while they were around. But I decided to wait and see what would come out, and here we go. We are now with the iPhone SE. Also, I would like to mention here that when the iPhone 5 came out and the iPhone 5s, I didn't feel the need to upgrade from my 4S, but I did feel the need when iOS 9 came out with the Icloud integration and so on and so forth, which I'm not going to debate here because it's going to take a while to discuss that, but that was the only reason that I felt. And having iOS 7 working great on the 4S, but installing iOS 9 not so great, I would get a slower phone, and you will have that info on the web. And I had the chance to see with my eyes, not only on the web, with my friends' phones, that they were totally crippled with the sluggish interface, and that I didn't enjoy. So that was the reason that I kept iOS 7 here. Now guys, this is the way or where I come from the iPhone 4S. I also want to mention here that to me, size really matters. It's not a question about the price. Now some people talk about a budget phone, the iPhone SE. To me, that's not, at least I don't agree with that. This is not a budget phone. This is a phone that costs in Portugal here 500 euros, and mine is the 64 gig version, so costed me 600 euros. Now the iPhone 6, which is my wife's phone, costs 650 at this moment, and I do believe that anyone that has 600 to give to an iPhone SE also has 650 for a iPhone 6 or 750 for a iPhone 6s. So it's not a budget phone, and to me it's not a matter of price. At least this is my opinion. I could, if I wanted to, purchase the 6, which I did last year for my wife as a birthday present. So and this is the point that I wanted to give for my wife, and that's why I totally understand my wife and millions more. She uses her phone not only as a phone but as a media consumption device, and this is the difference that I want to share with you guys. I don't. I use my phone as a actual phone. Now I grab it in the morning, I just placed it inside my jacket pocket on my jacket, and I take it to work. And what I do with my phone basically is phone calls, a few messages, and that's about it. Now I do see some emails through the day, and I do clear a lot of spam that I get on my mailboxes, so that when I get home I only have important messages to reply, on this case email messages, but that's about it. So I do believe that those like me that use their phones as a phone, and I don't want to sound like an ancient person. I do love technology. I do understand the need for bigger phones, for tablets and similar things, but that's the way that I use my phone. The very simple way to use my phone. Actually, just to share with you, for those that will use the phone the same way that I do, a few pictures, a little bit of everything. I will go to YouTube if I need to, but I will not spend a lot of hours on the phone watching. And before I forget, this phone is actually giving me 2 days of battery life, the way that I use, of course, and this will depend the way that that you use. On the other hand, I do understand people buying 4.7-inch phones, 5-inch and 5.5-inch phones, because they will use and they will consume multimedia, as my wife does. She uses the phone for Facebook, she uses for email browsing, internet browsing, for emails, so on and so forth. So she spends a lot more time than I do with the phone, and I think this is the main difference. So for those that need iOS or want iOS, it's not a need, it's a want, at least on our case, and I will try to not forget why do I need in just a few seconds. iOS 4 inches and want a small form factor phone, the SE, sorry about that, is the perfect choice, which was the choice for me, and I'm really happy with it. So now that I've mentioned the price, comparing with the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 6, now with the 5 it is exactly the same on the outside, especially because the outside, at least for what I've seen, it's exactly the same. When just a few things different. They talk about the round shapes, not exactly, but I don't see a lot of change here. So I do believe that this is the same outside with interior of the 6 and the 6S. Now I want to talk about the grip, because that is one really important thing to me. I do feel the iPhone 4S in this example, which is the same width, really nice and a really pleasant way of using a phone with just one hand. Now my finger can do everything with just one hand, and this is one of the reasons that I wanted a phone with 4 inches or even a bit smaller or even a bit bigger, but that I could grab all my hands on the phone and not having the risk of slipping. Now one of the things that I would like to mention as well is the design. Now, although I do prefer the size of the iPhone SE and I do love the grip, I do prefer the design of the 6. I have to be honest here, I did bought it especially because of the size, and it's really easy to put on my jacket pocket or on my jeans pocket, but I do love the new design, and that's the only thing that I think that Apple could, and hopefully they will do in the future. They could have given a new design like the iPod Touch, which is a iPhone 6 in a smaller form factor. That would be the only thing that if I was doing a review that I would like the least, was the using a older design. But I am okay with that, no problem at all. I'm also okay that I did purchase it for 600 euros. I did exactly what Apple want me to do, upgrade it from a 16 gigabytes to a 64 gigabytes for 100 euros more. And although I know that this is, well, it doesn't matter, I'm wasting time here. Now guys, this is one of the things that I have to be honest, I love the design of the 6, and I would honestly prefer to have a iPhone, whatever name they want to call it, 4-inch form factor, but with the same design of the 6. That's the only thing that I prefer on the 6. Now, in terms of iOS, why do I use iOS? By the way, on the Android side of things, I was looking about, I don't know, 6 months ago or so for smaller form factor phones, and I didn't found anything. So one of the things that I would love to see in the future as well is Android manufacturers giving flagship phones or similar to flagship phones on the Android side of things, but with 4 inches, 4.5, things like that. Not only huge phones, not all of us has huge hands to grab those phones. So I was talking about iOS. Now, why do I use iOS? In this part of the video, if you want to leave, you can. This is just out of curiosity. Now, iOS for me, it's a matter of ecosystem. Now, this is one of the things that Apple has great. Now, I'm not an Apple fanboy, as most of you guys that follow the channel know. I do love some Apple products. I do understand some of them. I don't understand some of them, and I don't care about them. I don't like them. But some of them I do. And one of the things is not a system, or it's not a device itself, but it's the ecosystem of Apple. When you have iOS and integration with OS X, then that makes a huge amounts of difference. Now, I want to just give an example, which is the Photos app. The Photos app is one of the things that keeps me on the iOS side of things in terms of a phone. Now, I said that I don't do multimedia consumption on my phone, but I do from time to time take a few pictures of my kids and wife and so on and so forth, but I don't replace it by my DSLR, sorry, my camera, my actual camera. My phone is not a replacement for my camera, but I do take pictures from time to time with the phone. And one of the things that we have is iCloud with photo sharing, and that's a great feature, which I can share all my pictures across and have on my favorite app, which is a desktop app on the OS X, which is Photos, which, by the way, so far I've used computers all my life, and I haven't found an app that can replace Photos in terms of photo organization. Now, Google Photos has not a similar solution. If it was similar, I would probably use it. I'm not using it because it's not the same. Hopefully in the future, Google or any other entity will develop an app like that. But at this moment, one of the reasons that I love iOS and the ecosystem is this integration, especially because of Photos. And guys, this is about it. I'm not going to spend more of your time already. This video is taking longer than I was expecting. This is my point of view. Why did I get an iPhone SE, which is replacing my iPhone 4S? And I could have gone, as some of my friends and some of my colleagues say, hey Robert, you are crazy. Why don't you go with the iPhone 6? That is a perfect phone for you, but it is not. The difference that I have on the grip, it's not the same. The way that I use the phone is not the same as a 4-inch form factor, which I can just use with one hand. And for my need, guys, and this is the final message that I want to leave here as a conclusion: should you buy a iPhone 6 or iPhone SE? My answer, as all my videos, is, guys, do what you feel that it's more right for yourself. And if you haven't, I do have the chance to test out the 6, the SE, and so on and so forth, because I have one here at home from my wife. But if you don't, just go to a shop and try it and see what feels right for you. For me, it was easy. I had tried this one for a couple of weeks. as my phone, and I didn't like the grip. It was not my phone. It didn't feel like my phone, and this one feels like my phone. Even if some friends and some colleagues says, "Hey Robert, you are crazy. You are going to spend 600 euros on a phone when you can spend 650 or 750 and get a bigger phone with the 3D touch, which I don't care about," and so on and so forth. So that is the conclusion, guys. If you are looking for a small form factor, well, 4 inches form factor phone on the iOS side, then iPhone SE is great. If not, if you are a guy or a girl of bigger screens, then go for it. I think that both machines are great. My only regret is that the design is not the same. And that is it, guys. Hopefully this video was in some way interesting for you, at least for brainstorming, and that I could share my opinion as a consumer, not only as a reviewer. And that being said, as always, my name is Roberto George, and I'll see you on the next one.